Over to a dynamic speaker who is also a personal friend of mine and the farm. And I'd like you all to give a warm welcome to Birke Baehr. Birke.
Okay, so how's everybody? Real cool. Well, I'd just like to thank Jeff and for all the people and for putting this conference together. This is the second year they've done it, and I think all the people they're able to get here and teach is just amazing. You know, right here in my home state of Tennessee, I just love to see people interested in the local food idea. So yeah, for sure. And you know, like Jeff said, my name's Birke Baehr. I'm 13 years old. I'm a youth food advocate, trying to get out there and teaching people about organic food and why we need to eat it. And so I think personally to me is that, you know, organic farming, it's awesome, it's important, and yet the farmers are even more important. But another super important thing about the farming aspect is the seeds. Farmers couldn't farm without seeds. And to me, as I research this subject more and more, I find out about these GMOs and how these conglomerations are trying to take over the seed industry, and I really am not appreciative of how they treat farmers. And so, for those of you that don't know what GMOs are, I'd like to explain a little bit. And a GMO is when you take a gene from a totally different species, say a plant or animal, and you're able to inject it into a certain plant to give it certain traits or qualities. And I personally think this is against nature, and it hurts the ecology, and to me it's just not right after you look at all the health effects and things that it does to the environment and our bodies. So, you know, recently there's also been multiple bills come out, and the California state had Proposition 37, which was to label GMOs and at least let people, you know, read the box of cereal and know if there's this product in there. And sadly it did not pass. But what we learned from it was that there was a certain way that these companies played the game. They waited till very late at the very end of the bill to put out advertisement in very low-income counties in California saying that, you know, these things are going to, having this bill will heighten your cost of food, which there's been no research showing that. They pick on the people that won't do the research and that are just lazy and don't, you know, and that when they think that, you know, this is going to affect their food or their money, they don't want something like this to happen. And so I've come across a recent bill here in the state of Tennessee that is going to go through the Tennessee General Assembly for GMOs to be labeled. And I think that, you know, let the great state of Tennessee to be able to be the first state to label GMOs.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm with a great guy, Alex Lavage, out of Knoxville. He's an organizer and awesome guy. But we're gonna partner together and start an organization to help promote this bill, and so that once it gets to the Tennessee General Assembly, it's not just passed over by the politicians here in Nashville. It's actually looked at and it's voted for. And so, you know, what I think another thing is as I keep looking at the seed industry and all this happens, I also notice a big problem with farmers these days, the GMO, is that a lot of the animal farmers, it's hard for them to get good heirloom organic feed. You either have to ship it in from Illinois or North Carolina, or, you know, from hundreds of miles away. And what I'd like to propose is for some people locally to get together, and, you know, someone has the land, someone has the money, someone has the workforce, someone has, you know, the seeds, and get together and start growing a feed co-op to be able to sell to farmers local organic feed for not so much, you know, for just enough to cover the cost and then make a little bit of profit in the end. And I think that doing that, it will give such an outlet, you know, have one of these per county or per region, and it'd be just so much beneficial to the farmers, you know, in the area. So, you know, I think that's a great idea to be able to get out there and, you know, we can make a difference by, you know, helping our neighbors, for sure. And so, you know, most of us are here, you know, we want to learn about local food. And I think there's multiple ways we can make a difference is, you know, by going to the local farmer's market and, you know, meeting a farmer face to face and getting to get our fresh vegetables. Another thing that's recently come up is, if you guys heard about them, it's internet farmers markets. And you can go onto websites these days. I haven't seen very many, but the few that I have seen are very well done. But you go onto websites, and it's actually like you have a shopping cart, like you're going through Amazon. But instead of buying, a book, you buy a bushel of radishes, or, you buy some type of food from your farmer, and then you meet at a certain point later on in the week, and you're able to connect with your farmer for, 10, 20 minutes while they're there, and you're able to get good food while they're heading to the farmer's market. And so, I notice everywhere, in every food movement that I'm going to, that the movement is growing. And every time as the months go on, it's just amazing to see more and more people, young and old, getting into this type of subject. And, it just makes me feel like I'm making a difference. And, we're all part of the difference, and we're all able to make our choices. And I like to say that when we go to, the grocery store or the farmer's market, is, buy from the local guys, buy from the people that aren't wholesaling, buy from the guys that, that are growing the stuff, right down the street and that you know. And, I like to think of our dollar bill as a ballot. And every time we go to the grocery store or the farmer's market, we're voting for the good local wholesome food. We're not paying for the stuff that's being sprayed to death and that's being genetically engineered by companies that, don't even care for our well-being. So, I'm just amazed by how many people, as I see this go on, and I'm so thankful for, the farmers. We wouldn't be anywhere here without the farmers. So thank you guys for growing awesome fruits and vegetables, and without you, I wouldn't be up here. So I'd just like to end my talk and thank you guys so much for being able to come over here and listen to me, and thank you guys for what you're doing and for supporting this movement. And we're getting there. And listen, I just can't stress to you how important it is that and how awesome it is to see people it's growing and we're making a difference. Thank you.
All right.
And I'm sure pretty soon here we are having a panel discussion, and I guess Jeff will introduce that.